And what's going on, everybody? It is 10:51 on Tuesday night, and I just got some quick news to get out real quick. From the looks of it, the market is feeling a little bit better right now than it was earlier. Bitcoin is back over 34,000. ETH is back over 2,000. XRP is climbing back to 61 cents. So on and so forth. Go ahead and hit the watch list here. Here's some of the stuff we talk about on the regular. Doge climbing back up. I mean, everything's climbed back up. For the most part, everything's positive in the 24-hour again, which is nice to see. Now to see if we can get some green going on the 7-day. Anyway, some positive news out of this. Blockchain Capital secures $300 million funding from PayPal and Visa. We are incredibly honored to welcome a world-class group of investors into Fund, I don't know if that's V or Fund 5, I'm going to say Fund V, who appreciate the value of a firm dedicated to a single industry. As founders ourselves, we know how hard it is to build companies, protocols, and indeed a whole new industry. So there's money being pumped in by some big names still. You know, PayPal and Visa are still throwing money at crypto. That should tell you quite a bit. Over on Gold Telegraph, I saw this earlier today, and I didn't pay much attention to it. Then I saw it covered by Digital Asset Investor on his channel, and now I got to come talk about it. They're basically talking about the Tether mystery, the scrutiny around it, and the caution that we may or may not should be taking. Regardless of price action, everyone should be focused on Tether, as I have been discussing. This is a very important variable, and things are getting very real now. Who is up for a story? Now they're showing you, this is the Big Short, a clip from that. According to Tether's website, it is incorporated out of Hong Kong and has 13 employees according to the LinkedIn. It is amongst the global giants Vanguard and BlackRock in the commercial paper market. Throughout its history, Tether has touted itself as a stablecoin, which is supposed to be one Tether to $1. However, according to disclosure, it is only backed by 3.87% cash, which out of that equals 2.9%, vital piece of plumbing for global market. Why is Tether a vital piece of plumbing for the global market? That is because traders capture arbitrage for when a bank wire is unavailable or not fast enough. As of right now, over 60% of stablecoins in the world are USDT Tether. Tether is the third largest cryptocurrency in the world with a market cap of $62 billion, which is behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. Interestingly, I have noticed since the beginning of June, no new Tether has been mined. Velocity is down, yes, but why could be big. Next, Tether is heavily concentrated in terms of ownership. I will not make everyone bored for ranting about that. I will now showcase why the world's largest exchange, Binance, is strongly interlinked with Tether and why, in my opinion, represents a major potential liquidity problem. Tether enables everyone to keep track of their wealthiest Tether wallets holding the most USDT in the Tether rich list. Currently, Binance and Huobi are the leaders. Both companies were founded in China. This loops back to the 2.9% cash backing of this alleged one-to-one backed stablecoin. What really backs these reserves is U.S. commercial paper, half of its reserves. In fact, disclosures show that its holdings of company short-term debt make it the seventh largest in the world. Nobody knows of specific commercial paper holdings due to its lack of transparency and lack of regulation. This further validates why a product such as this offering poses a risk to the crypto space, but most importantly could trigger a major event within the financial system. Tether is the most traded digital asset on the planet, but do you, the majority of its users, care about its actual reserves? Absolutely not. What would they do if they found out billions held by exchanges led by Binance were not worth the equivalent in USD? Time to turn it up. First, in my opinion, the unregulated nature of Tether is another why reason exchanges love it so much. Why? Fewer dealings with regulated banks. Remember, Binance offers 125-time leverage for some futures contracts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would document things I have already reported, but to centralize everything in one place so you can see what I see, the trend is clear. All eyes are on the world's biggest crypto exchange, Binance. Eyes on Tether. Is the cutoff starting? You judge. As announced yesterday, Strike, the startup building a Bitcoin-based payment system in El Salvador, is phasing out of its use of Tether. TSB recently banned more than 5 million customers from buying cryptocurrencies. Why? Fraud fears. What exchange was included? Binance. And that's affecting over 5 million British customers. India is currently investigating one of the country's largest crypto exchanges, WazirX. This exchange is owned by Binance. In the investigation into Binance, it was seen that the accused Chinese nationals had laundered proceeds of crime worth whatever, approximately, by converting the INR deposits into cryptocurrency Tether and then transferring them to the same to Bitcoin wallets. Silvergate Bank, one of the few financial institutions serving cryptocurrency firms, will stop processing U.S. dollar deposits and withdrawals in exchange giant Binance. Now, this is not Binance US. This is the main Binance over in Malta. Binance is under investigation by Justice Department and IRS. Weizhu, the chief, I don't know if that's how you say his name or not. If it's not, I apologize. The chief officer at Binance has left the company after 3 years, and from what I understand, abruptly. I remember reading that it was pretty out of nowhere. In late April, Germany's financial watchdog has warned investors that Binance has probably violated security rules over its launch of trading in stock tokens. Now central banks are intensifying things by looking to go after stablecoins and bring in regulations similar as the banking system. Bank of England says stablecoin payments need the same rules as banks. It is important to remember, about 55% of all Bitcoin purchases are conducted with Tether, according to researcher Crypto Compare. This is a very important statistic. To reiterate, the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve, recently touched on the risk of stablecoins. Stablecoins driven by Tether is clearly the weak line of the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem, driven by its centralized, unregulated nature. I will end the story with this chart. Since the start of June, Tether supply has not grown. Speculate accordingly. Interesting. I'm not weighing in one way or another. Tether is always under scrutiny. I do not use Tether. I usually use either BUSD or USDC. That's, again, not financial advice, just what I've been doing recently. Here we're going to move into some more relevant Ripple XRP style news. Here they are talking to Mr. Powell here about CBDCs. Listen to what the guy says at the end.
One of your other projects you're working on, central bank digital currencies, is going to need to have a secure digital ID to allow people to transact in digital dollars.
So to be allowed to use these central bank digital currencies and these digital dollars, you will need to have a global digital ID. Pay attention to this, people.
In a safe way that can't be abused. And are you working internationally to try to get these secure digital IDs, as part of your negotiations on central bank digital currencies and others?
I think it's part of the discussion. I would say we're not as far along as your description would suggest on that, but that's it's certainly something you would need to be able to have it.
Will it be addressed in your white paper coming out this summer?
A lot of things will be addressed. I'm not sure if that would be it. That's something you certainly need that to down the road. We probably will be. We're just laying it out right now.
Yeah. No, it's important for our economic recovery as well as planning to respond to China, frankly, on central bank digital currencies. So move it up on your to-do list. Thanks much, and I yield back.
Move it up your to-do list. Combating China. The narrative goes on. This was pretty cool. There was... One second. Here we go. Sorry about that. Even amid the SEC's ongoing securities lawsuit, China's broader crypto crackdown, RippleX GM Monica Long shares her optimism for a watershed in global regulation as banks become more active in the ecosystem. Let's see if we can get this clip going here.
The company continues to grow. So since the SEC case was brought against Ripple, we've added 20 new customers to RippleNet, the network that makes cross-border payments more efficient around the world. And we continue to grow and expand the business. Regarding the case, we continue to feel very confident that we are on the right side of the facts and the law here, and we do look forward to getting through it.
Okay, and Monica, if you take this, though, in consideration with what's going on globally, I know you wouldn't be impacted by the China crackdown directly, but it does speak to the broader issue as to regulators trying to hurry up here and come to some agreement on how to regulate this space. I mean, what is your impression? Does this continue to be just a massive overhang on the price, and will we continue to see volatility until there's more consensus globally on how authorities should handle the crypto market?
What we're seeing in China, as Arjun had said, it's not new. So this was a cryptocurrency ban the government came out with in 2013, reiterated in 2017, and now we see it again in 2021 on the back of a big bull run across crypto. And so, regulators around the world are paying attention to it. We're seeing a lot of positive developments in global regulation. places like Singapore, Japan, Switzerland, the UK, they've all come out with clear regulatory frameworks for crypto assets and how they'll treat them. And I think it's notable that with this latest surge in cryptocurrency market activity between 2020 and 2021, it's different. It's institutional adoption. It's major banks like DBS and JP Morgan and Citi and major financial players like PayPal and Square opening up new crypto offerings. And so we do feel within the industry that we've reached this watershed turning point where crypto really is going to become the new money and the new financial infrastructure for more efficient financial systems.
So there you heard that. I found, where are we at here? Got all mixed up here, excuse me. This guy was talking about this. They passed an act, and basically they are trying, it's a blockchain act for the U.S. to remain on the forefront of emerging technologies by fostering innovation and ensuring consumer protection.
Emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain technologies, and cryptocurrency are playing a growing importance in our daily lives and are going to be an economic driver for the 21st century economy. Blockchain, in essence, is a fixed ledger. Once you add data or a transaction, it cannot be changed. Therefore, it makes the data have integrity and makes sure that as we're doing transactions and adding data over the internet, that it can't be changed and that there's certainty to it. That's why it's so critical. And then once we add AI to analyze this fixed data, we could help solve some of the largest problems that we face as a nation. Healthcare, climate change, to be two examples. The delivery of personal protective equipment during a pandemic. And of course, cryptocurrency allows for small businesses in particular to provide services across the world without the transaction costs of exchanging currencies. It'll help with remittances and other ways that we can modernize our economy. It's essential that the United States continue to be a global leader in these emerging technologies to ensure our democratic values remain at the forefront of this technological development. Authoritarian regimes like China and Russia are investing heavily in these areas. It's absolutely critical for the free world to invest and to win the future in these areas. Also, as a responsible global leader, the United States must strike appropriate balance in providing an environment that fosters innovation while ensuring appropriate consumer protection.
So you guys see, it's a global narrative. I'm not going to say it's becoming a global narrative. In my opinion, it's been a global narrative, but you're really starting to hear it. The race, China, Russia. It's almost like a Cold War again, but it's technology based this time instead of nukes and space and whatever else it's been over the years. So we got in here, Valenti is proud to have contributed to the U.S. Faster Payments Council recent paper on cross-border payments. Get your copy now. This is from that article. Oh. And this is just showing, payments from Bank A to Bank B is created in the payment application. Payment is routed to Valenti VoltPay Ripple processor module. And, this basically just goes through what the process will be. But right here in the middle, you do see Ripple. That is there. That is real. Moving on. The U.S. Faster Payments Council, which was kind of interesting. The U.S. Faster Payments Council leadership includes... Nope, that's the wrong one. Let me see here. This does show you who all's in charge, though. And you got a lot of big people. You got like Target, Microsoft, Walmart, EPCOR, BNY Mellon, Federal Reserve, Federal Credit Unions, American Bankers Association, Visa, MasterCard, the Clearing House, JP Morgan's down here. So you get the idea. American Express, Goldman Sachs, Federal Reserve, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, Netflix is even here. I mean, there's some big stuff going on here. First Bank. Maybe just take us to the front page. It'll tell us here. Anyway, they're all about making faster payments. And for all this stuff. You can see... And if you want to read more about that, you can check that out. But what is interesting is the list. Thank you to the members of the Cross-Border Payments work group who contributed to this white paper, and you'll see the people that worked on this. You got MasterCard, the Federal Reserve, Wells Fargo, Walmart, Valenti, MasterCard, Ripple, Wise, Swift, more Federal Reserve, American Express. So you see Ripple's working hand in hand with these people, guys. Like it's not 100% speculation, in my opinion. They are in the industry more than any other digital asset in the space, in my opinion. Does that mean they win the race? I believe it does, but time will tell. The jury's always out, but they're everywhere, and that's undeniable. I had somebody try to tell me all their partnerships were fake a while back. Kind of blew my mind that somebody would actually even think that. And then it tells you here, service provider. Ripple's right there, and it's high value bank transfers, Swift, service provider, Ripple. Another Ripple update that I thought was pretty sweet. The SEC announces an intention to file on Thursday a letter motion to quash a deposition subpoena served by Ripple on a former SEC official. Briefing scheduled below. And that is this. I won't read this whole thing, but if you need to check it out or whatever, you can pause the video real quick, and that's enough. What they go on to say right here is what this means. This means that Ripple wants to question under oath, which is what a deposition is, a former SEC official. The SEC has objected to the deposition. The parties could not work out their differences, and they now want the judge to decide if it will happen. We do not know who the former SEC official is yet. If it's Jay Clayton or Hinman or any of those people, that will make my decade. That would almost be too good to be true if that was even... But anyway, that's going to end it. There's positive stuff going on, guys. The green candles are coming back a little bit. You got some positive news. You're kind of starting to see the narrative shift. Always pay attention to that. That as we were hitting the bottom, it's like you're just getting bombarded with this news. Boom, boom, boom. You're going down, And then, here we are not even 24 hours later, and there's a lot of positivity flooding back out information-wise. So, stay vigilant. Pay attention to the narrative. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It's a real thing, and it's not financial advice. It's what I'm doing. And on that note, I'm going to bed. I will catch you guys tomorrow.